Yeah, watch me stop stream right as I go to go live. What is wrong with me today? Jeez. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, hi. Hello. You can get firsties again. Good job on getting it twice, Kaz. Oh, well, we're PNG tubing tonight because I don't feel like being on camera because the world's a lot and everything sucks, but I want to be here with you. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Let's do the thing. Now that the starting soon is correct. Now that I didn't stop stream right as I started stream. Let's maybe let's go. How about that? Let's go. Let's do the thing. Where are my buttons? There we go. Look, it's Marcy. Look, it's Marcy. We're gonna paint Marcy. I'm really excited about this. That's weird. Okay. Yeah. Welcome back to Paint Your Pet. God damn it, I was gonna do a post. Ugh. Life. Why is life so hard? Hang on while I act like my own social media manager for a second. I gotta tell the world I'm streaming. Okay, so we told there. Now we're gonna go here. Hang on. My God, more tacos. Oh, you can get extra taco too. That's true. Oh, why is everything so hard right now? There we go. Okay. I swear to you guys, I thought I had my shit together today. I clearly don't. I clearly don't. How are you all doing though? How are you? Let me get captions started too, because I know if I don't say anything, Kaz's gonna call me out. All right, captions are up. Okay, we should be good to start doing the thing now. Let's do the thing. You're live. I mean, my social media manager severely stuck in the top right. That's something I struggle with. It's one of the hard things about being a content creator in any form, I feel, is unless you've made it big, you are your graphic designer, your social media manager, your your everything. And it's rough. It's rough. All right, let me decide what paintbrushes I want to start with tonight. Probably this one, this one, this one. Yeah, that should be a good starting point. Maybe. Okay, we're good. How are you? Yeah, get them extra tacos because I'm behind on tacos. Kaz is beating me on tacos somehow, and I don't know how they are. Okay, so here is our color scheme for Marcy. Lots of different black tones and some brown tones because I told her she's got some brown tones to her. So I think what I want to start with. Should we start with her brown tones and then add the. Yeah, we should probably do the darkest tones last because it'll hide mistakes from the other colors. So let's start with 6. We're going to see where all the 6s are. Should actually go fairly quickly. Oh, I also. Hang on. This screen also doesn't have. This screen doesn't have the stuff I want. One moment, please. You guys don't have any sound other than my voice. So let me fix that for you. Hopefully those will show up now. Are they here now? They are. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay. Ugh. All right, here we go. What are we doing? We're painting. Starting with 6. I said we were starting with 6. And we got Wisp here with us tonight. Chillin' like a villain. Okay, we're gonna start with this brush. Get it a little wet. And away we go. I'm starting Ms. Marcy. I'm looking for 6s. I think that's a 6. Thank you. Nobody asked you. I think this is a 6. We're going to paint it as a 6. I keep seeing posts from Grey Duck talking about how you don't have to, you know, paint perfectly for it to look good. And there's a part of me that's like, God, I wish that were true for me. God, I wish that was true for me. Everyone else can paint sloppily and have it still look good. But for me, man, absolutely not true. For me, it must be perfect. I know that's not true, but hey, tell my OCD that. I dare you. How the heck is everybody doing? Oh no, I have to repin my thing. I want to repin this in case people come in and they want to get their own pet kits from Grey Duck. Now that I've cleaned all of the surfaces that I wanted to be using for painting, I can finally seal the paintings, get Kaz their painting, and get my other paintings done. Kaz basic all black with just a little bit of white here and there. Very boring for paint by number. Well, that's what people say with this, because Marcy's little white spot is right here. Actually, I don't think they put her little white spot in. Oh, that's a bummer. It's just the teeniest little floof where her white goes. I'm gonna have to look at the picture that I sent. Let me see, because I might mark one of these as white instead. I go back to my photos quick and look at my favorites. So this spot. So let's see here. I'm looking at the photo and I'm imagining. Here's her paw. So it would be like here. So this 2 should probably actually be 1 to be her little floofy, her little chest floofy. Yeah, because that's what that's her little chest floofy. I want to remember that. Hang on. I want this to be 1. I mean, Marcy's all black, but she's got brown highlights in her fur that you can see when the sun hits her, and it's very, very pretty. And it's fun because the picture that I sent of him, she has kind of like this brown halo, and it's very cute. I was late getting started tonight because when I pulled Marcy's canvas out, it was a little loose, so I was tightening the canvas. It's actually very easy to do. So if you ever have a canvas, if you buy a canvas and it's loose, give it just the lightest little spritz of water and then take a blow dryer very, very far away. Don't not too close. And let it air dry. It'll retighten everything back up. As long as the back has not been cured with gesso, you can tighten your canvases that way. I actually got a bunch of canvases from Michael's once that were super, super discounted because they were deemed as damaged because they were loose. And all you have to do is spritz them with a little water and I'll tighten them right back up. Pro tip. As long as it's a true cotton canvas, very, very easy to fix. I'm also trying out putting myself in the art category tonight. Normally I stay in makers and crafting no matter what I'm doing. But I see most painters in painting. And I know this isn't like, I didn't make this. But I'm painting right now. Not really handicrafting, right? I'm painting. So only the tippy tip of my cat's tail is white. The rest of her fur is black with a couple isolated white hairs in her chest. Yeah. Marcy has a few stray white hairs here and there too. Hey, what's up? How you doing? I got your message. I saw that you're done sorting. Good job. I can't even imagine how much time and focus that would have taken. Sometimes I find that kind of sorting soothing, though. But when it gets close to being done, you kind of just want to be done. Like, I've been doing this forever. Come on, man. Black cats are good cats. I fully agree. Fully, fully, fully agree. There's some down here done in pen. That's weird. I'm guessing because it's black. So it's going to be easier to paint over. Man, if I could make something like this my day job. Ugh. And not, I don't mean like painting them, but like making these kits for people. I don't even know what goes into it, man, but train me. I'm trainable. I'm getting so close to having that commissions catalog done, you guys. Ugh, I'm just adding the photos now. So I've taken like a few at a time. Getting so close. Ugh, it's been taking forever. And then I had to figure out how to share it and lock it down so that people couldn't edit it, but they could view it. And ugh. Oh yeah, cool, cool, cool. All that sorting paying off. I don't see any sixes in there. I've been very sleepy all day. I know. So I gave my body a break. I overworked myself yesterday. I had a rough day physically. So I let myself sleep in this morning, which then ultimately means I'm more tired all day. And I hate that. I hate that giving myself rest makes me more tired. It sucks. Frankly. Frankly, it sucks. We're just PNGing tonight. Just I don't feel like being on cam, which is a-okay. I love having the option to dip into a PNG tuber when I'm not necessarily feeling the desire of being perceived, as happens with me frequently. And as much as I want to be crocheting right now, I know it's good for me to take a break. I'm really close to finishing that shawl. But also, giving my hand a rest is also a good idea so I don't end up with permanent nerve damage. I gotta start doing more PT exercises too. I have to start setting like a timer or something on stream so when we're crocheting, we stop and do like a stretch break every like 20 minutes or so. Hi, Marble. I'm painting you. I'm painting you. Yeah. She's looking at me like, what? Huh? What are you talking about? Actually, I gotta go into studio mode really quick because I need to grab something from the crafting scene. This. Let's throw that there right now. Hi, Annie. Enjoy your lurk. Thanks for lurking. No, I don't want you to step on you. I don't want you to step on you. I don't want you to step on you, baby girl. She's trying to walk all over her canvas. No. She's like, let me walk on it. It's me. I can do what I want. I can do what I want. Oh, is it Cuddles time? Hang on a second. It might be Cuddles time. Is it Cuddles time? No? No Cuddles? Oh, it's Cuddles time. My baby girl. I know you can't see her, but she is snuggling me. Can we one-handed paint? Do you think we can one-handed paint, Marble? What do you think? She's like, go ahead, I dare you. All done, huh? Already? Okay. Hello, Teach the Girl. How are you? We had to pause for a Marcy snuggle. She decided she wanted to be snugged. Went to the Renaissance Festival yesterday. It was so hot out. Oh my god. Somehow I feel like I always pick the hottest weekend of the fest season to go. I have like this knack for deciding and then it being world's hottest day. Every time it feels like. Could have gone last weekend when it was like 60 degrees. Jesus. I still can't believe it's only 3 weeks until my big race. Ugh. It's really, I'm not want to even call it a race because I'm not racing anybody. It's a run because only I'm out there to do my thing. Oh yeah. I like the lo-fi covers. They're good. I was gonna play a random indie mix that I have tonight since my audio doesn't go to VOD anymore, or the music doesn't go to VOD anymore. But then I decided I didn't want that. I'm also working on my plans for my streamiversary / belated birthday celebration stream in October. This is my birthday Saturday, but we won't be streaming. And so I think I'm gonna do a streamathon of some sort. I think my baseline is gonna be 8 hours with a maximum of 12 hours. And what we're gonna do is anytime we reach a certain goal, we'll have to roll to see what new granny square we're gonna make. We're gonna make a bunch of different granny squares crochet wise, but then we might have to do like breaks. Like we might roll and accidentally hit like, oh, we have to take a crochet break and play a game for 20 minutes. Or like other things like that. I'm trying to make it fun. Trying to make it a fun stream. Because 7 years is a lot of time of streaming, man. 7 years is a lot of streaming. It's a lot of streaming, friends. Did anybody watch the Nintendo Direct or see gaming news about the upcoming Poketopia game? What are your thoughts and feelings? I get my license plates tomorrow, finally, for my new car. I think Wednesday or Tuesday is my only like downtime this week. It's a really busy week. I mean, I took Friday off, but mostly because I want to get a bunch of errands done that have been that's my birthday present to myself is I'm getting a bunch of errands. Took the day off to get a bunch of errands done. I know that sounds weird, but remember I'm a Virgo. Like I'm gonna get gift myself capacity. I'm giving myself back some capacity. That's the plan at least. What are you doing, Marble? What are you getting in trouble for? Are you stuck? Ugh, she's being naughty. She's like, I want to be the star of your stream, not just the thing you're painting. Don't think I'm missing any. Okay. Because I don't like painting over what I just painted, like resting my hand on the paint. I'm trying to be strategic. Trying to be strategic. The rest of our week was supposed to be pretty rainy. Like today was supposed to be rainy and it just didn't. I feel like it got gray, but it never actually rained. I was hoping that would bring in some cooler temperatures. I'm a little nervous that because I decided to do outdoor birthday party, it's gonna rain. It's literally gonna rain on my parade. Coming in tonight, you think? Okay. I thought I saw it earlier in the day, but I didn't even see if it was supposed to be like storms or just rain. I just saw that there was supposed to be wetness tonight. Forecast is wetness. I'm hoping it'll rain enough that it'll push off whatever's supposed to happen on Saturday. Greedily. You guys, I bought a new dirndl for this. Oh, dang it. So rain, but no, not actually. Not really. No rain. Oh, weather. What you doing to me here? Okay, I gotta give it a second to dry. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I know I was watching Max, and Max was saying that there might be severe weather this week. Currently, Saturday is like a 50-50 scattered thunderstorms. I can take scattered thunderstorms. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, scattered storms. So, we'll see. Who had the hiccups? I have the hiccups. Hmm. I'm sleepy, but I don't want more caffeine because I feel like maybe that will make me sleep poorer. That's not a good statement. Poorer. Sleep worserer. I feel like if I paint this way, then my hand's just gonna be in the paint. So I should probably like paint this way. Right? But then I gotta wait for this to dry still. I don't know. You'd think after doing 5 of these I would know. Or 6 of these. Something like that. My brain does not want to work tonight, you guys. Brain does not want to brain. Move cat cam over just a little bit. There we go. Just a little more cat cam. I suppose I can paint all the way over here. I think this is going to be the usual 3 coats. I know if I just apply it thicker, it won't matter, but I like to be thorough. These are my babies. I'm just trying to decide what color I want to do next. Probably 9. We'll get so 7, 9, and 6 are all of the brown tones. Oh, 9 is for ears. So we go 7, 6. 7 and 6. Okay. Okay. We're going to just turn the canvas so that I can keep on painting. Where I get to bring my car in for, it gets all of its like paint sealing and all that fancy stuff that you can put on new cars. So I get a temporary car tomorrow. Loaner car, that's what it's called. Not a temporary car. Rupert joined us. He's hanging out on the floor now. After we were talking about it on stream last week, I asked Korg if he wanted to go to an apple orchard with me. I haven't made any plans to go to any yet. But I think that would be a fun little date day. Maybe go to a couple of them, because there's, growing up, like I always went to one specific orchard because it was the one that was like really close to our house. It was the one that was, you know, like a 15-minute drive. But then I found out there's so many more of them, and a lot of them aren't very far away. A lot of them aren't that far away. I had a really good apple today too. I don't know why. I've been obsessed with apples lately. I've been kind of stuck on safety meals, and I don't know why. Usually that's when I'm really stressed out, or when I guess the world feels kind of crazy. And so I've been eating a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with an apple because that's what feels comforting right now. And I was reading a health article the other day that was saying that with a no sugar added jam and on whole grain bread, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is actually a really good whole meal because it has grains, fats, protein, and usually some good some fruit, a little bit of fruit, vitamins from fruit. So I feel very vindicated that I can have as many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches as I want. They're a health food. You can't convince me otherwise now. I read it online, so it's true. I think after I get done, so I have 2 shawls that I'm working on right now. Oh gosh, yeah, the banana, having a banana. I used to do banana peanut butter and honey a lot when I was a kid. Um it blew my mind when, so I had stayed over at a friend's house, had like a sleepover. And when we had, like, we asked for peanut butter and banana sandwiches for dinner, and her dad made them, but her dad mashed the bananas. I always just sliced it and threw it on top, but her dad like mashed it. And my mind was absolutely blown that I just never thought of doing that, because like, then it's kind of like a jam, right? In a way, you can get more banana on your sandwich then. Just never thought about doing that. It's one of those life-changing moments where you're like, I had never thought of doing that way. I did that. So my dad used to always hard fry eggs for egg sandwiches. So I was always used to eating hard fried eggs on my egg sandwiches. And my ex husband, when we were still together, asked me to make egg sandwiches one night because I was really hungry for them. And he's like, "Oh, go ahead and make some egg sandwiches for us." So I hard fried them. And he was like, what is this? It's a fried egg sandwich. He's like, no, no, no. You wanna over medium that egg. So you still get some jammy yolk. Life changing. I've never made them. I've only accidentally overcooked them ever since. Because a nice runny yolk on your sandwich is, oh, heavenly. Absolutely heavenly. Wisp also enjoys it because usually if there's leftover egg goo on my plate, she gets to lick it up. Marcy's funny. She doesn't want the yolk, she wants the egg. So she wants egg white, whereas Wisp, she wants the yolk. She wants to lap up as much yolk as she can. Marcy just wants to eat the egg. They're silly. Yeah, my forever go-to safety meal has always been a fried egg sandwich. Two pieces of toast, two eggs, slice or two of cheese, depending on the cheese. When I was a kid, my dad would make us poached eggs on toast all the time for breakfast, sometimes for lunch. My dad made me an egg sandwich for my birthday meal one year. I still remember that. He put a candle in it and everything. I thought that was the coolest. Who gets a fried egg sandwich for their birthday? Who isn't like super cool? Because, like, obviously I was super cool. Birthday egg, yes. May I offer you an egg in these trying times? Or however that phrase goes. My answer is always going to be yes. I do remember somebody asking me if I could ever go vegan. I was like, well, do vegans eat eggs? Like, no. I'm like, then no. No, then I cannot. Pretzel necklaces for Saturday? Ooh. It will help with all of the beer since Oktoberfest. We'll see how my body behaves that day. Because sometimes lately, it feels like no matter how much I drink, I cannot get drunk. And then other days, it's like I have a single drink. I'm like, well, guess I'm done for the night. So we'll just have to see which comes out. It's funny. So Rupert usually goes to doggy daycare on Mondays, but because I took Friday off, I'm going to have him go on Friday so that I can get some stuff done without having to fight him going in and out the door. And I think it's hilarious that I went to leave this morning and he was like, I don't want to. He didn't want me to leave because he wanted to get in the car with me. Like, he was almost like, where are you going? What are you doing? It's Monday. I go to doggy daycare. And I came home and he was pouting. When I got home from work, he was like, he didn't greet me at the door. He just looked at me and like walked away and went and sat in the bathroom. Like, are you actually depressed that you didn't get to go to daycare today? Lately, it's only wine that does anything. That's what I've honestly been feeling too. It feels like I can drink whatever I want with beer, but wine will get me drunk. It's so weird. For a dog that throws up every time he walks in the door at daycare because he's so anxious, he's starting to walk in on his own. He's starting to finally just follow them in. It used to be they would have to pick him up and carry him, and then he was able to be leashed. And now if I start going like I'm going to walk through the door, he'll go with them. And I don't think he's thrown up the last couple weeks, which is good. So I feel like maybe he's getting used to it and he's starting to really like it. Even though he doesn't love water, he seems to come home from the days where they get to be outside in the pool still pretty wet. So he must like being in water if the other dogs are in water. That must be his rule. Is that he will only go in the water if the other dogs go in the water. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. I love that the stream capture is just like do, 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 do. Okay. I am going to take a brief potty break. I might grab a snack too. It's snack time. I'll be right back. You guys hang out with this thing. Okay, I'll be right back. Died. But it's for science.
Come here, boy. Ellis, answer me. Face to Ellis. Go ahead.
Ah! Fuck! Weird white. Can't stop meow. 'Cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. I'm a kitty cat running through a cave like a ninja. Look at all of those beautiful names. Now I can go eat your powers. It'll be great. I'm excited. Hi, we're sharing a bed again tonight. Oh, my cat curled up on me! I got a boner. Goodbye, Mother. I'm an adult now. I'm gonna go do adult things. Oh. Did you see that? Look at these. They're so cute. They're so cute. I can't eat them with my mask on, but they're so cute. Look, it looks just, you can't tell the difference between mine and the picture. They look exactly alike.
They look the same.
I wonder where they are. I wonder where they are. Huh. What the hell are you guys doing?
This is our home.
This is really important.
Who's that Pokemon?
Oh,
It's Pikachu. Okay, we're having a brief snack break while this dries. Sour boys, as usual. How y'all doing? Ooh. I do like that Sour Boys is indicating what level of sour you can expect from their candies now. I do appreciate that. Actually might hop back over to Makers and Crafting. Oops. There we go. Okay. Okay. Do the same thing that we did last time. We can keep painting. And just turn it around. Just turn. Nope, but I gotta do this because I don't want to hit. I don't want to hit that stuff. Whenever I hear these lo-fi, like really dreamy Radiohead covers, it just makes me want a cold, rainy day. I'm gonna put OK Computer on the vinyl and just like exist. Or even like Kid A would be good. Maybe that's what I want right now, is just to listen to some Radiohead. But like older Radiohead. Should I do that? Should we just listen to God, The Benz is such a good album too. I'm gonna slap together just a quick playlist. So we want that. I want the Benz. I don't like Hail to the Thief. Kid A. That's probably enough. Okay, we're gonna shift over to like listening to some Radiohead for a moment. I know VOD listeners, if you exist, you won't get to hear it. I also find it funny that it went from The Tourist to The Tourist. Do you ever listen to music? And maybe this is only like audiophiles. Um, because it feels like a certain season. Radiohead's OK Computer feels like early fall. Like when it first gets cool, like officially cool, not false fall. And it feels like kind of that gray and dreary, but not depressing gray and dreary. Like gray, like maybe it's gonna rain. I used to have a whole album or a whole bunch of playlists when I used to have an Apple phone, an iPhone. Um, and that used to have all of my season playlists. So I had, it wasn't even just season because it was like summer, like full on summer. Like this is summertime music. This is music that feels like summer and sunshine. But then I also had like late spring, early summer, and then I had spring, fall, deep winter, like a really deep cold winter. Because a lot of times when I listen to music, it evokes those feelings of like a season. And I feel like I don't see this happen as much anymore. Um, but oh my God, I'm gonna sound so old right now. Back in the day, back when I was younger, um, music albums, at least from the artists that I used to listen to, because I was a bit of a music snob, still kind of am. Um, music albums were written to be listened to from start to finish, not like on shuffle, not just a single off song on a streaming service. Like an album evoked a mood. Right now, it just kind of feels like a lot of artists put out music with the intent of it just being a conglomerate of songs they've written recently. Like there's not a feeling to it. There's not something they were trying to convey. There's not a story. And I know bands are still doing that. I know that because indie artists exist. But like my example, one of my favorite albums of all time is Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by Smashing Pumpkins. You have From Dawn to Dusk and From Twilight to Starlight. Two albums, both have different moods, but very intentional with the way the tracks were laid out. Though that album for me doesn't sound right if it isn't played in order. Like if somebody were to put on a single track, that's fine. But if you were to put Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness on shuffle, I'd be like, ooh, something about this isn't right, man. Something about this ain't right. It's been a very, very long time since I have had somebody that I can just sit down and talk about music with. I've also kind of ignored discovering new bands, which was a big thing for me for a very long time. I would just tr- try to find new bands and try to get into new shit. And I don't really do that anymore, but I've done it a bit because when I was whenever I currently obsessively listen to Dury, I tend to switch it up by listening to Spotify's Dury playlist, like their This is Dury Radio. And so I'll find bands that are similar that I like and get to listen to them that way. That's how I found Hot Mulligan, even though they've been around for a long time, apparently. And PDUSA. Both bands I really like now. So that's how I found Tessa Violet, who I also really like. But I used to go to the record shop in the city. Hello. Um I used to go to record shops in the city and just ask the guy, like, here's some bands I like, what would you recommend? And they would just give me shit. And that's how I found the Postal Service. That's how I found Soul Coughing. Well, Soul Coughing was technically a boyfriend. Made me a mix that had Soul Coughing on it, but I forgot. Soul Coughing is another one that I really like. And if Mike Doty toured anymore, I would be happy, but he doesn't. Especially not as Soul Coughing. How is Moto going for you? Moto GX. I'll get it right someday. This is one of my favorite Radiohead songs. How to Disappear Completely. This is on my Spotify playlist. I'm really cool, but I cry a lot. I name my playlists all kinds of random shit. Like I have my feminine rage songs that are all about like women taking their power back and like busting down the patriarchy, and that's called the female gaze. I have a playlist that are all songs about being neurodivergent or who that invoke kind of that neurodivergent feeling. And it's called Autism, AWETYSM. Ah, thank you so much. Sometimes I'll use those playlists to discover stuff too. Is I'll fill them with just enough music of the genres that I'm looking for, and then turn on Smart Shuffle and be like, all right, now show me more. Fantasy League, Fantasy MotoGP. That sounds interesting. Part of me's like, how the hell are we already at commercials again? But I kind of forget how slowly I go on these because I want them to be perfect. Now that the big table in the living room is cleaned off, I can finally start sealing things. I just wanted a wide open space that no one was going to bother. I probably could have done the acrylic spray sealant, but I think that you run the risk of it dripping too much, and I don't want that on my paintings. So we're doing the paint on kind. Non-yellowing sealant for acrylic. It sounds fun. I'm glad you guys have stuff like that. It's never been the sort of thing that my family is into. We are a lot of neurodivergent introverts who have our own individual hobbies that we like to do around each other. Okay, I think that is enough coats for us to move on to another color. I think I want to go. Do I want to go back and do 7? 7's the darker brown. I think maybe we'll do that. I'm really excited. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Did you catch me? Did I stay in the Pokeball? Did I stay in the Pokeball? Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Ah, I used struggle and I got out. I'm doing okay. How are you? Life is just a heck ton. But it's my birthday week, so you know, I gotta be happy, right? God, I love this song. Sorry, I just love Radiohead. Do you know, like back in the day, when you used to make mixes for your car, like on your iPod Shuffle and shit? Um, and every song that came on, you'd be like, "Oh, I love this song." And it's like, yeah, I hope so. I made the playlist. It's my own music. I hope I like it. Thank you. Thank you for the happy birthday. This is a very dark brown. I like this a lot. This one might only need two coats. right? You make your own playlists and you'd be like, "Oh god, this is such a good song. I love this song." Yeah. Um duh. Wasn't that the point? Man, I used to sit and spend hours making the perfect mixes, especially for longer like road trips. I found my old iPod Shuffle and I kind of like I don't have Apple Music at all anymore. Or iTunes or whatever it's called now. And I kind of want to know what was on it. Good night, Kaz. I hope you feel better soon. I hope you're doing okay. I also remember like way back in the day, I had a bunch of my CDs saved to my iTunes account and I lost access to that iTunes account and I had locked myself out. I couldn't remember the password or anything. And so I got on with Apple support. And they were actually really helpful in like helping me get access back to my account. It took a while. We had to do a couple weird things. I had to like prove my identity a few different ways. Um but once we got in and I could see my library again, like the person on support could also see my library. And she's like, "Oh, you got really good taste in music." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a little bit of a music snob." And then we ended up like chatting a little bit about the music that I had on my playlist at the time. And she was very kind and was like, "Well, I'm really glad I got you your music back." I'm like, "Yeah, me too, thanks." She laughed at. So I had one massive playlist that was all the songs that would sync every time that I turned on iTunes, and it was called "Shit I Want on My Phone." That just the name of the playlist was just "Shit I Want on My Phone." She thought that was hilarious. It's like, listen, sometimes I'm creative, and sometimes it's just I gotta just say what it is. I kind of miss the days of I used to have listening parties with friends. Like we would just light up a campfire or just hang out and we'd just basically pass around the iPod and let people or pass around the speaker and let people put on, "Oh my god, have you heard of this song? Oh, the song you just played reminds me of." And we would just sit around and listen to music like that. It's great. What is a band that you feel deeply passionate about? Like if somebody were to tell you that they didn't like that band, you'd almost be like personally offended. Like it was a slight against you that they don't like that band. I tend to feel that way a little bit with Radiohead and with Smashing Pumpkins. Like, oh, you don't like them, huh? Why do you hate me? You didn't have to just boldly say to my face that you don't like me, but I get it. Thanks for telling me. I don't think of a band like that. I'd be sad people didn't like MCR Sugar Cult. Oh my god, Sugar Cult. I think I've told you I've seen Sugar Cult live like 4 or 5 times. Oh, Sugar Cult. I found Sugar Cult way back in the day because they were on a Warp Tour mix list. They were on a Warp Tour mix that was being sold at Hot Topic. Might have not been Warp Tour. It was one of the big festivals at the time, but I like to buy the compilations a lot. And Pretty Girl was on there from Start Static. Oh. One time I tweeted about Sugar Cult, and Sugar Cult reposted my tweet, and I died happy in that moment. In that exact moment, I died happy. I've also hugged the drummer. He came out after the show and was just like, does anybody want a hug? I'm like, yeah, sure, I do, of course. I have my signed ticket from him then. He's like, I'll sign your ticket too. I'm like, all right, cool. They're very nice. I agree. They're another one of my favorites. Everclear is on my list too, but I understand when people don't know Everclear, don't like Everclear. Their music has changed a lot. So I get it when people are like, "Oh yeah, they're just a radio play band." Like, they aren't. But I can see why you would think they might be. Like, I get it. Because a lot of people got introduced to Everclear with probably it was probably something off of Sparkle and Fade, but So Much for the Afterglow was where they got a lot of radio play, and I think those were more of their more poppy songs. So I sort of fell off around Songs from an American Movie. Um, it just wasn't really my style any longer. I am going to see them in November. I'm really hoping I get some of the older stuff, but I'll just be happy to see Everclear live. To be honest, that'll be good enough for me. But I was really excited way back in the day, and I think I might have told this story on stream before, but my first serious boyfriend was really who got me like into being a big music head. And we went to visit his brother in New York. And while we were there, we went to a pretty famous, well, famous quote unquote underground record shop. And while I was looking for something else completely, I came across a copy of World of Noise, which is their first album that Art produced himself and mixed himself. And there's not very many copies in print of it. And they were selling it for like dirt cheap. And I yanked that off the shelf like I had just found gold. I was so excited. I'm pretty sure I still have it in the basement. I got a box of CDs around here somewhere, man. MCR for me is one of the bands that was kind of on. It was just to like the left, or like not to the left. It was just to like the right of the music that I was listening to at the time. And because they were such a hyped up band, I didn't listen to them a ton. Like, I'm familiar with their music, I'm familiar with their songs, but I never got as deep into the fandom as some of my friends did. I was also really obsessed with Brand New for a long time, and then I was really sad that their lead singer's a POS. I was definitely in a very screamo phase for a long time. A lot of screamo. Taking Back Sunday and Hawthorne Heights, and I guess you couldn't really call Yellow Card wasn't really screamo, but my first band obsession was Weezer. And it was because a boy I liked Weezer, so I became obsessed with Weezer. And the good thing was I actually ended up liking Weezer. So that was good. That guy was an asshole, but I wanted to impress him and be like, oh yes, I know all of Weezer as well. Then I did accidentally end up becoming obsessed with Weezer. So, sometimes it works out. Sometimes it all works out in the end. Didn't waste my time. I ended up liking the band anyway. But I did only start listening to them because he said in a conversation that he liked them and I wanted him to like me. So I went and was like, must figure out who Weezer is. I remember in college, between classes, going out to my first boyfriend's car. He had a little green Geo Metro. And we used to go sit in his car and he'd smoke cigarettes and play music for me. That was pretty much fucking great. Like, I don't know if it's the autism or what, but music has always been a way that you can communicate with me. Like, to this day, and I know people don't do it anymore, but I mean, you could do it with a Spotify playlist. You don't have to do it with like a CD, but like make me a playlist. Make me a playlist of songs you think that I would like, or make me a playlist that has songs that are meaningful to you. Tell me the stories about why those songs are meaningful to you. Make me a playlist of songs that you know, you have guilty pleasures of. Like, I still love that kind of shit. And it's one of those things where, like, if somebody were to present me with a playlist like that, it's like, that's sacred. That shit's sacred. I will sit down and listen to it and give it my full ass attention. Because this means something to you. It tells me about you. It tells me about your life. It tells me about who you are. It tells me about stuff you've gone through. Not always been able to connect with people well, but I feel like I can always find some connection through music. I would love that. Like I have our ceremony music saved too because I very intentionally the songs there were only 6 songs or maybe there were 7 if you include the first dance or our dance. But there were only 6 songs and I was very intentional about all of them. And I have a reason for every single song. And Korg knew that. Korg knew the music was important to me. So I got to be in charge of what was on that list. And like, unfortunately, because music can be so important and so like such a connecting thing for me, such a love language. Music is such a big love language. There are some songs that like they're ruined. I just can't. I can't listen to them anymore. Like I really like Muse, but I can't listen to Muse because it reminds me of my ex-husband, even though my first boyfriend's the one who told me about Muse. A big stinky loser. Well, maybe you should have showered better and then you would just be a loser. There's also 2 songs that I have such a strong emotional reaction to that I just can't. I can't listen to them and it sucks because I really want to because they're gorgeous. But if you ever want to bawl your eyes out, Amanda Palmer's Bed Song. I heard that song and I burst into tears because it made me realize I had to get divorced. Like I had to. And then the song I think it's called How Do I Say Goodbye? It's a song that was written about the artist's father watching his father die of cancer. Can't listen to it. It's gorgeous. It's so meaningful and I want to, but I hear that song come on and I instantly start bawling. And the bullshit of it is that song came up right around the time my dad was diagnosed. Like that song just out of nowhere was like, here, let me plop my way onto your feed, even though we've never spoken about parents and cancer. And then there's a song by Dury. I believe it is called Sandtrap Town. I'm bad with titles. That's about somebody watching the world pass them by when everyone around them is trying to tell them it's going to be okay, you're going to be fine, but they know they're dying. Like they know they're never going to leave that hospital. And I can't listen to that song anymore because that's for me. Okay, I'm going to get real sad for a second here. But for me, I went through that with my dad. Like, I remember sitting in the hospital room with him and he's like, I'm never going to get out of here. This is it. And I was like, you can't talk like that. We're going to get you out of here. And it's just like, you get these emotional connections to songs and it just gets freaking rough, man. It just gets rough. Well, on that chipper note, I think I got all the 7s, and I think 7's only going to need 2 coats. And then I think I'm going to go back to number 2. I don't see a lot of 2s, though, but we're going to go back to 2. See, you get me on a nostalgic to me music kick, and then I'm like, hey, let me talk about music nonstop for 3 hours. Cool, cool. You good with that? Because Get me started on music and I might not shut up. Making sure I don't see any other sevens. Another one of my favorite Radiohead songs. Exit music from a film. Horror film. I don't think I want to use this brush. I think I want to use this brush. Yeah. Keep breathing. I got an urge to rewatch one, Heartstopper, and two, 13 Reasons Why recently. I don't know if it's because I watched both of those in the fall and my brain is just like, ah, yes, fall. Must watch fall things. I want to in October. The problem is I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks again. I want to make some time to play a scary game or two if we can. But I feel like all my October is already going to get eaten up because I'm gone for a week. So we'll see. I love my games with good jump scares. Like, I love my walking sim horror games. And I haven't had a great walking sim horror game in a while. The suspense is really what gets me. I really like the suspenseful games. Like, the original Layers of Fear was so good. We never finished the Layers of Fear. Yeah, Yellow Card has a lot of songs that are rough for me as well. Cigarette is one of the first songs I learned how to play on my own on guitar. Like I fully taught myself how to play it. And it's in such a weird tuning that I was really proud of myself. But it reminds me of kind of a painful romance time in my life. So we can't do Yellow Card. Hi, Julie. Yeah, if you hear of any good spoopy games, let me know. I'm looking for good new spoopy games. There's a lot I haven't played, I know, but like not downloaded. I bought Mortuary Assistant. I still haven't played it, but I've seen it played through. And so there's a part of me that's like, will it be, I don't know that I don't know that it's going to be as fun because I've seen it played through now. I kind of know what's going to happen. Like, cool. I mean, there's like 6 different endings and everything, but I think there's still an Amiga games that we haven't played. Summer 56 was great. It was a really, really slow game. I think it was supposed to have a sequel, and I don't know that it ever got one. Would we consider the Stanley Parable a spoopy game? Oh yeah, I was talking about how I was the I was listening to lo-fi Radiohead. I'm like, no, I just want to listen to Radiohead, I think. I love Radiohead. They're one of my top favorite bands. I remember before I knew like what anxiety and depression were, like I had them, but before I understood what they were, I read an article in Rolling Stone about Tom York's stage fright and the panic attacks that he has and feeling so like, oh, other people experience this. Like if Tom York, like a rich fancy ass performer can experience these things, like, oh, and like normalized it so much for me. Yeah, Nine Inch Nails is another one that I really like, but I never listen to a ton, but I do really like. My ex-boyfriend and a couple of his friends used to run basement shows on the weekends on Friday nights. They'd get a couple kegs. It was $5 cover. It was really $5 for your cup. Um and once the kegs were covered, everything else got split between the performers that night. And it was very fun to go to that and see like all the random folks that would show up to just open mic basically. I still remember my boyfriend had major stage fright, and the first time that he finally worked up, it was his own show. The first time he worked up the courage to play his own show, he got off stage and I was like, "Baby, did so good." He's like, "Thanks, I have to go throw up," and he ran upstairs and puked. Because he was just holding in his nerves so much. Yeah, Wisp is taking a nap with us tonight. See, I hear this song and like my sensory memory goes freaking wild because it feels like being at Century Community and Technical College, walking to class. Like that's exactly what it feels like, and I can smell it, I can see it, I can picture it in my head. I know that I was on my way to my geology course. Like I can all of it. There's just so much memory tied to music for me. Ooh, that is a late dinner. I hope it's tasty. How you doing, Julie, other than studying? So excited to start Wisp or Marceline tonight. I have Wisp's picture too. They actually picked the one picture I didn't think they'd pick for her. I think it's gonna be cute. I think it's gonna turn out really cute. But I feel like her personality came out a little bit more in the other photos that I sent. So we'll see. We'll see. I've never been disappointed with one of these kits, so. Oh yeah, The Benz is a great album. The Benz and OK Computer are my two favorites. Pablo Honey is another. Pablo Honey is the one Radiohead album that to me doesn't fit into my fall vibes. It's my spring vibes album. Like Siamese Dream from Smashing Pumpkins is one of the only ones that's a spring summer vibes. Tegan and Sarah is very much my the temperatures are just starting to warm up part of spring albums. Yeah. It's hard to tell me that there's a bad. Well, okay, that's not true. Uh Hail to the Thief and some of the stuff after that kind of when they started getting more and more experimental. It's not that I don't like it as much. I do. I appreciate it. I just it's not I have to want to sit down and listen to those albums. And most of the time with these I can just throw them on and I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'll listen to it and I'll love it. And since we now know how to separate bod tracks, we can listen to, oh, Marceline. She brought me her toy. Ooh. But if I throw it, so this is her little worm toy. It has a mohawk. If I throw this, Rupert's gonna steal it. Hi, baby. Hi, Baba. I'm gonna get nibbled. Ready? She just ran and pounced on it. She knew Rupert was gonna come in behind her. Okay, so I think let's go back to 2 now. So we're gonna go back and start going 2, 3, 4, 5. A reminder, no stream Thursday. Because I got some IRL things to do. Pausing for snack time. Giving my hand a break. Alrighty. Break achieved. On to 2. I am feeling heavy. I'm glad. I always like to send you encouragement too. I'm feeling heavy. The world is a lot right now. Yeah, emotions are high because the moon is in Cancer. That is true. My birthday is Saturday. I was telling Korg, I think it's probably just because it's my birthday. Well, not just because it's my birthday, but it's probably inflamed because it's my birthday. But I have been missing my dad a lot lately. And it's like, it's these weird little things. Like, there's these things that I would always, like, I would have called him to figure out. And one of them is how to fix our broken toilet. One of them would be like how to fix the fact that our dishwasher wasn't washing well, like things like that. And I would get really frustrated with myself because like I can't call him. I can't ask him for help. And I get frustrated and overwhelmed, and so I wouldn't do anything with it. I just leave it be. And out of nowhere, those things like fix themselves somehow, which is not possible. But they fix themselves somehow. Like the dishwasher's washing well, suddenly. The toilet's flushing, suddenly. And my brain's just like, damn, like I feel like my dad is fixing things for me. Like he's watching over me and just fixing things because he's like, I don't want you to be frustrated. I got this. And I've been missing Dagny so much lately. Oh my god, that cat just kills me. I've been missing her like crazy. I have her ashes back. But I don't have... I bought her a special urn. I have the cedar urn that they gave me. And that's fine, but I bought a special urn for her. I don't have it yet, and I don't know if it's because of shipping or if they're making it still or what. I don't know. It's rough. Yeah. I got one that is, it's a cat. It's in the shape of a cat's head. It's a handmade clay one. And I have a mini urn in here that I'll bring some of her ashes in here too, to be with my other cat's ashes. A small thing of ashes of his too. But I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the seasons changing. I don't know if I'm just more emotional because like the world's on fucking fire. Like I saw a TikTok on Friday. I was having a really bad day Friday. Like I mentally could not get my shit together. And it was a TikTok that basically said, hey, if you are a people manager, like if you work somewhere where you manage people, the best thing you can do right now is remember that the last thing people want to be concerned about right now is work. Like, with everything going on, with the political climate the way that it is, with the news cycle being so intense with no breaks every single day, the best thing you can do is understand that your employees cannot be at their best right now. And I wish more people understood that. I wish people understood that this is not normal. I know other parts of the world are struggling too, but like specifically in the United States, this isn't normal. This is not normal. We should not have a breaking news every 5 seconds news cycle. It is cortisol city for everybody. It is so stressful. It's so high and intense, and you never get a break. There's no break from it. This is the sort of stuff that causes CPTSD. And people can't be at their best right now. They can't. There's no way anyone can be at their best right now. Even the people who aren't really impacted by anything that's going on, which if you say you're not impacted by the world right now, man, you are not paying attention. But even the people who are not impacted, there's no way right now that you can be at your best. The rest of the world is on fire all the time with no breaks. And I wish more managers, more people in management, more people who worked with people understood that, like, we were not put on this damn planet to sit at a desk and work 8 hours a day. Like, we weren't. We just weren't. We weren't meant for that. And it's really hard when the stuff that's going on in the world right now is going on and everything starts to feel so trivial. Like, everything else starts to feel so trivial. Like, nothing matters. Like, how does paying my bills this week matter in the grand scheme of, like, the political climate or just the shit that's going on? It doesn't. It just doesn't feel like anything matters. And that's really hard. That's a really hard place to be. But you know, you got to go to your silly little job and sit at your silly little desk to make your silly little paycheck so that you can keep the roof over your head. Even though with the economy the way it is, you make less money than you've ever made in your entire life while bringing in more physical income, you know? It's just having empathetic managers right now is, I feel like, a key to survival. Just understanding people cannot output as if everything's okay. And acknowledging that and making space for that is important. But I don't see enough managers acknowledging that. I don't see enough managers giving grace. It's just, well, our bottom line still needs to be met, so we better go. And there's that like little rebellious piece of me that wants to be like, well, fuck your bottom line, you know, like what does your bottom line matter to me at this point? Like, it's rough. Welcome to the inner workings of Cat's brain. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, and that's the thing is if you lose your job, good luck finding another one in this economy because we have negative job growth. Despite what they keep lying to you about on screen all the time, we have negative job growth. There are more people who need jobs than there are available jobs right now. And I laugh because the media they keep saying signs that we might be going into a recession. And it's like, bitch, where have you been? We've been in a recession. We've been in a recession for over a year. Well, not over a year. This year just feels like it's been forever. We've been in a recession for like 9 months now. Like it was starting at the end of the last administration. And I feel like we could have turned it around. But when they keep saying, oh yeah, there's signs we might be going into a recession, or economists say we may go into a recession soon, it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Because all of us schmucks down here who don't make 6 figures, we've been feeling this for months. We've been struggling for months, if not years, with the way that corporate greed has gotten, with the way the economy's gone. Oh, but we might be going into a recession. Hold on, everybody. We might be going into a recession. If we're not careful, it might happen. Ugh, shut up. It already is. It's also, I was talking about this in therapy. It's really hard as a person who pays attention, who's observant, aka neurodivergent, to sit here and have people tell you that the apple they're holding in their hand is an orange. Like, and the worst part is that they believe it. You know, like the worst part is it's not that they're trying to convince you that the apple in their hand is an orange, is they really think it's an orange. And you're like, hi, I have eyes. That's not an orange, it's an apple. And they're like, how dare you? How dare you tell me? And that's what it feels like. That's just what the world feels like right now. For people who are more attuned. It's exhausting. It's jarring. It's rough. And it's hard because, like, I don't know who I can talk to about it other than my therapist and my husband. Because it's draining. It's hard. It's isolating. And all I can hope is that somehow it'll get turned around in my lifetime and I might actually have a few years of peace in my life. You know? That's literally, it feels like the simplest yet most lavish wish to sit around and think, God, I just want a couple years. I just want a couple good years where things aren't constantly on fire. Because the last time the world wasn't on fire in my lifetime was 9/11. It's been constant historic event after historic event ever since. There's been barely any peace time. there wasn't a recession looming, or there wasn't some big crazy political fiasco, or there wasn't like, and I'm tired, man. I'm tired. And I'm sorry that you can relate, Julie, but it helps. It does make me feel a little more validated. So I appreciate you saying that. And it's like the other thing too, before I jump off of this soapbox, is that it feels like everyone is aware it's going on, but nobody wants to talk about it. Like nobody wants to actually just acknowledge it. And it's hard. Like we can't possibly talk about the shit sandwich we're eating. Even though we all know we're eating a shit sandwich, nobody can talk about it. And that's where we lead into ads. Good job, me. Yeah, this is a great song. I agree. I fully agree. It's another one that I learned how to play on guitar because I was like, I must learn. Chase of no consequence at all. I can't even. I don't even remember how I got into Radiohead. For most music that I don't remember how I got into it, it was likely my ex boyfriend. I'm guessing that Nate played the Bends when we were hanging out in his car, and I became obsessed. Because that sounds like a likely story. Mm-mm. This sure makes you look pretty ugly. Kicking and screaming, dirty little piggy. Do 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 do. Sorry, I didn't mean to completely stop talking. It was more that I saw an ad popped up and was like, ah, yes, no one's here anymore. There. Oh, I got her little spot on her nose still. Then we should be done with this color. God, I love this song. I was thinking about this because I've seen a few people in the autistic community post about autistic loneliness, which is something I struggle with quite a bit. And it was a thing that like kind of captured how I felt quite a bit. And it was so scenario. This is literally a scenario that happens to me all the time. And it sucks. Excuse me. Presentation. Say we're doing a presentation of some sort. For some reason, who knows? Because it's a Tuesday and they're making us do presentations. I was always so scared to get up and present because I felt awkward and I didn't know like how people would receive me. So I always observed, the people who went ahead of me and whatever. And I kind of took notes on what they did and like what went well. And I would see people get up and do a presentation. And their technology wouldn't work, or like they'd stumble over a part of their notes, or they forgot something that they meant to say a different way or whatever, and they would crack a joke to like ease the tension or like self-deprecate to make fun of themselves, and everyone in the classroom would be like, oh, ha ha ha, and it would ease the tension. They'd move on. And this happens to me in professional settings too, and it sucks. But I then would get up and like my technology wouldn't work, or my slides, I was missing a slide that I thought was there. And so I would make like a self-deprecating joke, very light, but like, hey, other people do this and it eases the tension, right? Like everybody kind of laughs and is like, ah, yes, we're all human beings, and they move on. But for some reason, I make self-deprecating joke like the people before me, and everyone just stares awkwardly. No one laughs. No one's like, oh yeah, we get it, let's move on, it's fine. Everyone has mistakes, whatever. I just get like dead silence. And then I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. Like the 5 people ahead of me all did, oh no, mistake happened, make self-deprecating joke. So for me, mistake happened, make self-deprecating joke, and now everyone's staring at me, and it's worse. And it's weird, like in the videos that I was watching that we're talking about autistic loneliness. It's we sit and we observe and we think we understand how to fit in, how to do the thing, how to, you know, communicate, and then we perform it the same way the person before us just performed it. And for some reason, we're rejected, and it becomes incredibly isolating. And it's weird to me because that's a very real experience for me. It's a very weird real experience for me too in social settings, because like we were talking about in that group, we were talking about how there'll be times where like you sit down in a group of new people and you're like, awesome, I'm meeting new people. You know, I'm going to do my best to fit in. I'm going to do my best to like make new friends and whatever. And the group will be talking about something, like a specific topic, and you chime in on that topic with like your experience or your addition, and everyone just stares at you like, okay, like, why would you talk? Like, why would you bring that up? It's like, well, because it's on topic. Like, no one will say it, but they just kind of look at you like, we're okay, moving on. And they'll change the topic, or the conversation will die, or the group will get up and leave. And it's like, but I thought that's what we were talking about. I thought were we not supposed to continue talking about the thing the group was talking about? Like, I don't understand. And it becomes really, really hard because it's like, for the most part, as an autistic individual, it's not that I don't pick up on your social cues, I just don't know what to do with them. But it's times like those where I wonder if I didn't pick up on a social cue. Like, how did my thing not fit in? I don't understand how my thing didn't fit in. You know? I know when I was little, I was really bad. I was really bad at joining conversations where people would be like, we're talking about Mario Brothers. And I'd be like, that's awesome. I like My Little Ponies. And there I understand that I was not participating appropriately because they wanted to talk about Mario Brothers. And I was like, yes, but let's talk about the thing I want to talk about. But like masking, learning how to fit in society, it's moments where it's like, but I was talking about the thing you brought up. What? I don't understand. Steve from finance made an awkward joke and everyone laughed. I made an awkward joke and now everybody's staring at me. I don't get it. But yeah, that was part of a series that I was watching on autistic loneliness and how sometimes we just don't understand. Like I just don't understand why. Like I think I'm performing correctly. I think I'm participating correctly. But then like rejection happens and you don't understand why or what you did or didn't do. And it can get so isolating. This has been such a bummer of a stream, you guys. I'm sorry. But I've had shit on my mind apparently. Almost out. Yeah. Well, and it's one of the things that I've talked about before is I have two very close friends. And that's great. I'm endlessly grateful to those two very close friends. But as a person who longs for connection so desperately, it's weird to me that I don't at a minimum have more good friends. You know? Oh, I'm always willing to talk about this stuff. I almost went into psych because of it, you know? But like autistic loneliness can be so real because we're so hyper independent. And one of the things that we were talking about in the group today was how detrimental it was as a kid to hear that we were perfect. Because a lot of us did. A lot of us heard, you know, you're so perfect, you're so well behaved, you're the perfect friend, you're the perfect. And it isn't until later in life that you realize the reason people thought you were perfect is because every version of yourself that each individual or each group got was a performance defined specifically for them based on your observations of them. Like, example being, if you were in a group of people who were more outgoing and loud, you could probably be the more demure person. You could be the one who was like, who brought the group down and grounded them. If you were around somebody who was really, really shy, you stepped up to be the extroverted friend, to bring them out of their shell, to make them feel like seen and more comfortable. Like, every single piece of you in a friendship was a performance curated for that person. It wasn't a true version of yourself. And I think that's why after my divorce, I went through such a shell shock because I realized I didn't know who I was. Like, I've said this before, and I know I brought it up on stream before, but I married my first husband because of what I thought the performance of being with somebody and marrying a person was. And he fit that. So it's not that it wasn't love. It's not that I didn't love him at the time. But I didn't know who I was. I knew who his wife was because I performed that every single day. But I didn't know who I was. And once I was divorced and I had that kind of realization that everything I had done up until that point, none of it was for me. All of it was for the sake of other people. I had this whole breakdown of like realizing the things that I didn't like, that I had just put into my personality for so long. Because I thought that's what my friends wanted. I thought that's what my friends liked. I thought that's what, you know, like, I used to do fantasy football leagues. I hated football. Like, I hated football. But I would sit down and watch football every Sunday with my ex-husband because I thought I needed to like football. And so I tried to learn about it, and I tried to watch it every weekend with him and every weekday when it was on the weekdays. And I did a fantasy league, and I bought a football jersey, and I performed football because I thought I was supposed to. And then once I was divorced, I realized I fucking hated football. I never liked football. And I went through this whole process of like actually almost, I jokingly say like I met myself again, but that's really what it was. I went through this whole process where like I had to reintroduce myself to myself and be like, so what do you like? Because I sure as shit don't know. I've been performing for people for 12 years. And it was freeing, but it was also really kind of heartbreaking. But that's sort of what I mean when I say like autistic loneliness is like we're never somebody's chosen person. And I can't say never because I know that I have friends who feel that way about me, but it, for the most part, like I'm not the way that I see other people perform friendship. That's not how I do friendship, and that's not how I receive friendship. And sometimes it almost is like a FOMO. It's weird. It's hard. And it does often feel like rejection. Is that stuff that Ben struggles with too, Julie? It's hard when you realize that maybe you don't actually know what your own interests are. I remember having a whole breakdown one night, like crying on the floor because I didn't know what my favorite movie was. Because I knew what favorite movie my friends were, and I liked the movies because they liked them, but I couldn't have told you what my favorite movie was. Because everything about my personality was curated for them. I didn't know what I liked. Gibby.
0-3.
You are a big stinky loser.
Oh god, yeah. It's just a really weird night. It's fine.
But yeah, that's kind of what it was like, is like realizing I needed to figure out what my own interests were. Like I I think it's funny because I think it was actually Core that pointed out my favorite color is to me. Because I didn't know. And it was just such a weird thing to be like, I don't know, like, what's your favorite color? I'm like, I don't know. And he was like, it's purple, except for the times when it's orange. Like, yep, yes, it is. You are correct. Because for the longest time, I was like, my favorite color is blue because the person that I spent the most time with's favorite color was blue. Or my favorite color was green because, my best friend's favorite color was green. There was never anything about me. There was never, what is my actual favorite color? It was always my favorite color because it was something else, because it was someone's else, because it was someone important to me. So actually taking time to sit down and realize like what my favorite things were, what my hobbies were, what I actually enjoyed and didn't enjoy, that was a weird awakening. And that was all before I even knew I was neurodivergent. That was all just when we called it being a chameleon, aka finding out later in life it's autism. I think I'm gonna have to do one more coat of 2. That one's looking a little patchy. I think that was a article that I saw right around the time I was starting to actually come to the terms with the fact that I might be autistic. It was I think it was called The Chameleon Girls, and it was a lost generation of women. And I read it and was like, oh my God, that's me. Oh my God, that is so me. The reason everyone always feels comfortable around me is because I adapt to make them comfortable. And then I'm starting to go through this rebellious phase right now where I'm like, well, who's going to make me comfortable? Like, I've spent my entire life making other people comfortable. Who's going to make me comfortable? And the weird thing is, I've lost some friends because of it. Because I stopped leaning into catering to only their needs. And that killed some friendships.
It's me.
Huh?
It's me.
No.
I make comfortable.
Yes. Well, that's just because you got Pisces in you.
I didn't think it was Tuesday.
It is always interesting who sticks around when you quit catering to their comfort only. And I don't blame people. Not everybody can be grounded and self-actualized, and I understand that that sounds really, really like, oh, I'm so much better than you. I'm not saying I am fully self-actualized, because I definitely am not. But a lot of the world is very self-unaware. And for someone who has heightened self-awareness, for better or worse, that can be rough. Because the other part of the article I was talking about earlier was that people don't understand that when I walk into a room, I immediately go into observation mode. Like, I immediately am looking around the room to see what's happening, what sorts of conversations and activities are going on, what's the general feeling of the mood of the room, is there tension, is it ease, is it like what's going on, and I start to adjust and adapt to that. Sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously, but it's just, you walk in, you observe, and then you figure out how you fit in, and then you participate. But it just blows my mind that some people just walk into walk into a room and they just do it. They just walk into a room and they're there. And for me, it's like, no, I need like a 10-minute observation period to figure out what's the vibe. Are there people here that I know? Do I have to make friends? Like, and that can be a very isolating thing too, because it doesn't come across naturally. It doesn't come across as a very natural way to be in a room. So that can be awkward. The story of my life, being awkward. Usually unintentionally, sometimes to be cute. I'm glad that you can relate. I mean, I'm sad that you can relate, but I'm glad that you can relate. Like, I was having a rough time mentally because so we jokingly, on my team, we have our boss and then we have our big boss, which is, the person above our boss. And we have a new big boss. And I was having a bit of a breakdown the other day because, like, she keeps reaching out and like checking in on me and being like, do you need anything? Like, are you doing okay? And my first defense is to be like, does she not think that I'm doing my job? Or like, does she not think I'm performing well? Or, I get very defensive about like, I'm really good at my job. Like, I don't need you to check in on me. I'm doing fine. And so I try really hard to like respond back with, everything's great. Thanks for checking in. And because at work, I've struggled with perception of me, of that I'm standoffish or that I'm closed off or whatever, like I immediately go into this panic mode of, is she going to have that perception of me? because I don't ever need her help, because I don't ever respond with, you know, here's the thing that you can do for me. And so I was like frantically trying to come up with something that I could be like, oh, I need your help with this. But then that's inauthentic and it doesn't feel right because I'm lying. I don't actually need her help. And it's, I was having this whole mental crisis about it. It was like, it was wild. But like, I'm so scared of being misinterpreted, and I'm so scared of people misunderstanding me and misunderstanding my intentions, because for a lot of my life, people have, you know, and they haven't given me the opportunity to clarify. They haven't given me a chance to speak for myself. They've just decided who I am, how I am, what I meant, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, if you would just take 5 seconds and like talk to me, you know, this would be completely different. But I've been having these like panic attacks every time she reaches out to me about, oh God, if I don't like ever need her help, does she think that, like, what is she gonna think of me? But I don't need her help. I don't need anything from her. And if I did, I would say so. But I don't. My role is very independent on purpose. I mean, most of my check-in meetings with my regular boss, not Big Boss, are us venting to each other about the state of the world. And then a little bit of, oh, and where are you on this project? Okay, I'm here. Cool. You're way ahead of me. Got it. The last 2 times my boss and I met, she was like, I'm going to suggest this project to you. I'm like, I already decided to start that on my own. She's like, awesome. Above and beyond, as always. Like, yep. Because I tend to see problems and I'll just fix them, rather than being like, I need to call 6 meetings to get permission to fix this thing. It's like, nope, this is a problem and it's going to make everybody's life easier if I just fix it. So I'll sit down and I'll fix it. That's the pattern recognition, though. That's the, I saw a problem arising in 6 months, so I fixed the thing today. And now we won't have to deal with that problem in 6 months. That's also a skill that I think a lot of hiring managers overlook in people. Thank you for joining, Desi. Enjoy your taco. Enjoy your taco. Man, I didn't hear my mix it up alert. Sorry about that. Hi, welcome to the community. Oh, I don't think alerts are on this. Yeah, this is the scene I don't use very often, so oops. Now we're gonna play Upside Down Cat. Now we gotta read 3s upside down. Here's a 3. I forget this song exists sometimes. Man, our stream went from talking about music and nostalgia to venting about the state of the world, to talking about my divorce, to talking about autistic loneliness. It's been a stream, you guys. It's been a stream. Hello. How you doing? Was one of the other things that we were talking about recently too with neurodivergence is being able to sense when people are being inauthentic and how disorienting it can be. I've talked about this before in relation to streaming about how it makes streaming more difficult for me because I feel like the people who get really popular and get really seen and get a lot of attention are people who I like to say who shock jock, who they're loud, they're upbeat all the time, they're, you know, everything is flashing lights and silly noises and tons of high energy all the time because that draws attention. But for me, I have a really hard time watching those types of streams because all of it feels so very disingenuous. Now you can tell when it's not, like when someone's truly excited and that's truly their personality, you can tell, and it's different. It's a different feel. And those are places I feel fine. But when it's somebody who's doing it as a performance, like you can tell it's a performance, right? You can tell that it's a performance. See, Julie gets it. I'm doing okay. It's been a chatty stream. It's been a lot of me soapboxing tonight. Which, you know, for better for worse. A Silent Fox artist rating from Streaming Art. Hello, welcome, welcome. Oh, the party cannon got stuck behind my head. Oops. Hi. Lino cut. Oh, lino cut. I have done that once in my life and I loved it. It's so cool. I love it. I'm not very good at it. I used to carve my own erasers into stamps, but that's as far as I got with that. Welcome, Raiders. How are you? Asylum Fox Art, how are you? Oh, sorry. I am dyslexic, so if I say your name wrong, please just go with it. Hi. I said it wrong. I know. But hi, hello, how are you? Welcome on in, Raiders. It's so lovely to have you here. We are painting. We're painting my cat. We're painting my cat. She's upside down right now, but we're painting my cat, Marceline. And I would love to know what you were working on tonight. What were you doing tonight? What were you working on? Welcome on in, new friends. For those of you who do not know me, I am Kat. I usually craft on Mondays and game on Thursday. Lately, we've been mostly crafting. I've been kind of in a gaming funk. And I just got out of market season, so I was doing a lot of market prep. I'm a crafting streamer. I've been doing a lot of painting recently with these kits. I've done diamond art, I've done cross stitch and embroidery, primarily crochet is what you'll see from me as far as crafts go, but I do I am multi-passionate and I do get the itch to do other things, and then everyone gets to do new crafts with me. So, you know, adding watercolor to some of your lino prints. That's so cool. I did a lino print class when I was in college. It wasn't a college class, but I was in college at the time. I took a community class on it, and it was just so cool. I think it's so fun. How long have you been doing lino cut? Painted the cat when I was 6. Everyone was... Oh no! Don't paint the cat. Don't actually paint the cat. I think the cat might have liked it. You never know, right? Maybe the cat liked it. Yes, this is a paint by number kit that I got from a local shop that does paint by numbers. They are pinned to the top of chat if you care to check them out and order from them. They're a small women-owned business. Independent little shop with all their fun stuffs. Everyone should try it. It is really fun. It was one of the things, so we've been talking about autism all night. It was one of the things that I was not naturally good at the first time I did it, so I had a really hard time sticking with it. As every former gifted and talented school student probably understands, I am not naturally good at this on the first try. Therefore, I suck and I will never do it again. No, it's funny because like with crochet, I was younger when I started crochet and I understood that like I would get better as time went on, and I have. You know, I've gotten a lot better with tension and picking the right yarns and blah blah blah. But there's so many crafts like needle felting. Needle felting takes a lot of patience. And I picked up needle felting. I needle felted exactly 2 things and went, nope, I suck at this. Nope, I'm terrible. I shall never do this again. Tonight we've been talking about music, our favorite musics and our favorite bands, and music that has a lot of memory tied to it. So if you have a favorite band you want to share, tell us about your favorite band and what they mean to you. Yeah, big emotions, right? Right? I feel like there's so many G&T kids who get that feeling. It's just a guttural feeling. I am not naturally good at this the first time, therefore I'm terrible and I should never ever do this again. I love Florence and the Machine. Heavy in Your Arms is one of my favorite songs. This is how we got onto Radiohead tonight, as I was listening to music. I was like, no, I think I just want to listen to Radiohead. Because it is... I want to listen to it. It's his favorite band must do listen. Yeah, it is a big mood, isn't it? It's a big mood. I was talking about how, like, music can get so heavily tied to periods of our life and phases and things we were going through. And Heavy in Your Arms is one of those ones that it's like, you know, realizing sometimes no matter how much you want something, it's dragging you down and you have to let it go or you're going to drown. No matter how much you want it, right? Sometimes you just gotta let go. And yeah, that song is always on my like sad playlists. CIB. Do I know CIB? I recently somehow fell into a random group of people who all really like Coheed and Cambria, and I didn't know they were still popular. And it was like, oh, okay. Oh, that's a nostalgic throwback for me. But yes, again, thank you so much for your raid. And if you do have to de-stream, you know, you have to go take a stretch, have a snack, get ready for bed. I don't know what time zone you're in. All those fun things. Please take care of yourself. We like it when people practice a little self-care here. I don't know that I know. Is it an abbreviation? Because you'll probably say, and I'll be like, oh yeah, okay. I'm trying to get done with at least the first coat on all the threes before we end tonight so that I have a good stopping point. So this is actually from a company called Grey Duck Art. They're a Minnesota company, a women-owned company, a small independent group that they produce these and they will ship them worldwide. And this is like the sixth one of their paintings I've done because I really, really like doing them. It is linked at the pin post if you want to find more information out by them, but you send them a photo of your pet or a couple photos to choose from, and they will put it to canvas and mix the paints for you and send it all back to you to paint. And it's wonderful. I love it. Yeah, it's really cool, and they have sales all the time. So if you watch them, they'll usually have sales that kick up if you need a little bit of a discount. I usually buy mine on sale when a sale comes up. I've done I haven't shipped it to them yet, but I have done a commissioned one for a stream community member who wanted one of their cat but didn't want to paint it themselves. I've done two as gifts, and then I have all of my pets. This is the second to last of my own pets. And then once these are all done and sealed, I'm gonna put them all up on display in my house because I think they're so cool. Normally I'm uncomfortable posting my art in the house for some reason. Like I'm like, no, I don't want to hang up my own art. That feels weirdly vain. But I want to hang these up. I actually don't know that band. I'm gonna check it out. Yes, if you want to check out Grey Duck, they make really great gifts. If you have people who might want to paint their own pets, they're great if you want to paint them for them. So I have this painting, I have another painting, and then I actually have another I'm making another gift. And then I'm not sure. We'll see. I want to keep painting. I like doing them. So we'll have to see. It's usually pretty rare that somebody brings in a band that I've never heard of. So I'm excited to go check them out and see what they all about. Normally I am a face cam streamer, but I didn't feel like being on camera tonight, so we're PNG tubing. So normally you'll see my smiling face, but not tonight. Okay, I think I've got one big section and one little section here. 3 is left. And then that means next stream when we come back, we'll do third coat on 2, second coat and third coat on 3. Ooh, I missed spots. And yeah, so this one's gonna need second coats because it's just not, it didn't seep into all of the pores of the canvas in every spot. Earlier I was talking about how before stream I had to tighten the canvas. Pro tip, if you are ever finding yourself with a saggy canvas, which nobody likes a saggy canvas, right? Give it a gentle spritz of water. And then if you have a heat gun, low setting heat gun, or a hot air, like a hair dryer, and that'll tighten it right back up. If it's natural fibers, it'll tighten it right back up for you. Oh, okay. So then I'm probably gonna know then. I probably just didn't know that that was the name of the band. Because am aware of Supernatural. Once I hear it, I'll probably be like, ah, yes. You get to see me paint the upside down kitty because I didn't want to smudge all the bottom stuff I painted. I'm working on a shawl. I was crocheting on stream last time. That's a bunch of, it's very subtle unless you look at it. It's like skulls. It's called the Lost Souls shawl. It's a fairly popular shawl design. Most people in the crochet community, if you say a Lost Souls pattern, they're like, ah, yes, I am familiar. That's what I'm crocheting right now. So I'm actually making 2 of them. I'm currently working on one that is made with bigger acrylic yarns so that it would work up a lot faster. And then I'm working on one that is a finer yarn with a smaller hook that will be a little more delicate. And that one I'm really excited about too. I had a friend kind of randomly comment that they would love it in green and black, and I'm like, commission me, baby, I want to make it. I'm actually, not actually. I hate using actually as a modifier. I'm very pleased with how far we've gotten. Because like if you use actually at times, it can come across as almost insulting. Like, oh, I actually really liked that. Like, meaning I didn't think I was going to, but I did. And sometimes that can come across a little insulting. I try to be mindful of that myself. Yes, if you're enjoying stream, we're going to be wrapping up here fairly quickly. If you haven't followed yet and you want to come back and see more painting or crochet or palea or cozy games or, you know, Halloween spooky games at some point, be sure to drop a follow so you can find out when I shall be back. Usually we're Mondays and Thursdays. This week we're just Monday. We got some stuff going on IRL that we're taking care of on Thursday. So we won't be back until next Monday. But you can always join the Discord and come hang out with us there. It's not a very overwhelming Discord, so if you're afraid of joining like a really highly active, we're pretty chill. We're pretty chill. We talk about food and cats and crafting most of the time. And that is the last three, I think. Wow, we got really far tonight. Proud of us. Good job, us. This might only be a 2 or 3 stream. We might get done with this one in 3 streams. Woo! I don't, because at 8 a.m. tomorrow, I have to drop my car off to get its detailing done. Or, man, maybe I would have. You almost had me, Julie. You almost had me. If I didn't have that appointment. Oh, hang on. I want to see. Is Toto... Okay, Toto's still playing. I've wanted to raid Toto for so long, you guys. We're going to raid Toto. We're going to raid Toto. Toto's playing Silk Song right now. Thank you for the follow. I'm following you back right now, too. Toto is a craft and game streamer as well. And Toto is obsessed with Hollow Knight and Silk Song, and they're playing that right now. So please come join me. We're going to go raid Toto. And if you can, grab our raid call to let everybody know you're coming from our stream and that you are a friendly, happy being joining us. We're going to kill the music here, and we're going to go see Toto. Y'all, thank you for being here with me. Thanks for the raid. Thanks for joining us. And I can't wait to see you guys again in a week. Thanks for painting with me and being my friend. I hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you in Discord. I'll see you around the internet. And hopefully I'll see you next week when we're back. But for now, please stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, make good choices, and I will catch you next time. Bye.